Hey everyone, Mark Meckler here, and coming to you live from Texas. Glad to be in Texas. This has been 5 or 6 or 7 years coming for me and Patty to make the move. And I am sitting in my new office in Texas. I know it doesn't look much like a barn, it looks more like a library. It is a library. I'm pretty excited to have a library, by the way, because I love books. I've always loved books, and now I have a place to be with all my books. All of my books have been in boxes for most of my life. So to have a place to put them on the shelf is pretty cool. I appreciate books because I've learned so much from books throughout my life. I was an English major in college. I was a big reader when I was a kid, and so I just learned so much and have learned over the many decades so much from books. But I actually learned a lot more from people than I learned from books. I learned a long time ago that every person has something to teach me. And that is doubly and triply and frankly 100 times more true for you guys. One of the things that I appreciate the most, and when I look back on any given year, I appreciate you guys the most. And you guys, I mean my state leadership, our state leadership, the people who are actually in the trenches doing the hard work while I'm at home in my library, right? You guys are what makes this thing tick. You guys are actually the whole reason for this project. This project is not about me. It's not about Washington, D.C. It's about the grassroots. It's about regular people all over the country who care enough about this country to step up and actually do something to save the country. You guys are not normal people, and I don't mean that as a slam. I mean it as a compliment. You're extraordinary. You've actually chosen to do something in a time when most people choose to sit on the couch and do nothing. And you guys have not only chosen to do something, you've chosen to step up into leadership and do a lot. And I know how much sacrifice that is. I know how much time away from your family it means. I know it's time away from work. I know if you're retired, it's time away from retirement and just hanging out with the grandkids or fishing or whatever. And it's not always easy. And it's certainly sometimes thankless, and it's certainly sometimes frustrating. And I know sometimes the things that I do or we do increase your frustration. So for that, I apologize. And I want you to know that I'm eternally grateful. I'm grateful for the fact that you're out there. And I'm grateful for the fact, like I started with, for how much you guys teach me. And I know you may not believe this. It may not seem reasonable to you. But every time I come into your state, I learn something from you. And I am always looking actually, going out of my way to learn something from you. But whether I am or not, you guys teach me something. Pretty much everything that we do in Convention of States that's any good, we learn from you. State leaders like you, people who are in the trenches, who are actually doing the deal, who figure out what works, what doesn't work, what's effective, what's cost effective, what's efficient, what motivates people. All that stuff comes from you guys. So not only do we do this for you, not only couldn't we do it without you, but everything that we do that's good, in my opinion, is because of you. So as we close out the year, as we move towards New Year's, we've gone past the holidays, past Christmas and Hanukkah, and we're moving towards New Year's. I just want you to know how important you guys are to the movement and to the country, because I'm convinced that without the Convention of States that we've lost the country. We're gonna win. I'm convinced of that. But it's hard for me to imagine how that happens without Convention of States. And what that means to me is that billions of lives are at stake. And I say billions with a plural because if the light of liberty goes out in the United States, Lord knows what happens in the rest of the world. And we're the one place people can still escape to. We're the beacon of liberty and the beacon of freedom for the entire world. So when you're in this fight, you got to know what you're in the fight for. You're in the fight for what's right and what's righteous. You're in the fight because the founders set this course for us and you're living up to those ideals. You're in this fight because I believe that God set this nation on earth to be an example for everybody else, and you are part of preserving that. So I hope that over the next couple of days, and especially after you hear this message, when you stand in front of that mirror at night and you're brushing your teeth, and I hope you brush your teeth, you're brushing your teeth at night, I hope you think about the fact that you're actually playing a historic role. That's not about ego. I mean, humility is about just acknowledging reality, and you guys are heroes playing a historic role. So thank you guys very much. Blessings to you and your family as we close out this year, and we look forward to an incredible legislative session in 2019. We're going to grow the grassroots. That's the number one thing. Know that I appreciate you. I love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in your states in 2019.